the good, the bad, and the nerdy. Hosted by Honey Badger herself, Katie May, and the most enthusiastic person in comics, Mike Watson.
And now we are going to refresh. What's up, everybody?
Hey guys.
How you doing? We're back with a new episode of The Good, the Bad, and the Nerdy. This week I am feeling frisky, so I'm going to share this a couple places. While I'm doing that, Katie, did you do something awesome this past week or something? Didn't you go to beforehand? We never got to talk about your trip in Germany.
Oh yeah, so I went to Amsterdam and I went to Dortmund, Germany.
And how was that?
It was a trip. It was a trip that happened, but I will tell you this is something that not everybody knows. So there was a Pokemon Go event in Dortmund, Germany, and that's part of the reason why I was in Germany.
Are you serious?
Yes. I had actually met a couple guys out in Vegas last year who also play Pokemon. They live in Ireland, and they mentioned that they were thinking about going with a bunch of people. And I was like, you know what? We're due for a vacation. So my husband and I went there.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah, we have tons of new friends from across the pond, so it's pretty exciting.
And how long were you there?
8 days.
8 days in Germany.
Well, in Amsterdam, so half time in the Netherlands and then half the time in Germany. Yep.
I thought you guys were just going there because it was a vacation for you all, and you're like, hey, let's hit up Germany, let's go somewhere, we've never been before. But then, literally, there was a Pokemon Go event.
Yes. Amsterdam was one of the places that has always been on my bucket list. So that was definitely just for vacation, just for fun. Something to do besides the Pokemon event. What?
You had to legitimize it some, so.
Yeah, exactly. It was my husband's first trip overseas, so and we're actually planning on going to Ireland with my parents and my brother and his family next year. So I kind of wanted to get the first international trip out of the way before it was inundated with my entire family.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool beans. All right, I'm gonna try to do some of the stuff while we're talking. I should have restarted my computer before we jumped on here, but that's fine.
No.
So, sometimes she just needs a restart. That's all. All right. So we are going to jump in. We're going to christen a couple new things today. We're always trying new things on our show, and as Katie has told you, it's our show, so we'll do what we want. We've kept some stuff. We let some stuff go. But it's fun because we're on our 12th episode. We're having a good time. We're enjoying the content we're talking about. And some of you guys and gals seem like you are too. My head is always crooked in this camera. I need to look more at that. All right. So we're coming up on our first little event, and it is rapid fire rounds. At the rapid fire rounds, Katie and I will have 2 minutes to speak on one thing, and we have to get in what we want to say in that time, our good and our bad for that item. This week we are splitting off for this. We have two. I have an item, and Katie has an item that she's going to be talking about. When we kind of figure out what we're talking about on the show, it's really funny because Katie sends me these chats and she's like, Mike, I did this. I saw this. I'm pretty sure you didn't see any of that. So what have you seen that I have seen? And I respond, you are correct. I did not see that or that. So that's where we are right now. So our first one coming up is Neon Genesis Evangelion. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Do you want to get the timer started for me, Katie?
Yep, I've got it ready. And go.
Okay, so I have all these toys. I've had these toys since I've been in college back in 2004. Just to give you a little history, when I got to college, my geekdom bubble got busted all the way open, and I was all about anime and everything there. Trevor Zammit, a good close personal friend of mine, he's the one that got me hipped back into toys the way that I am now. And so I was a big collector of anime toys. I didn't even know what this anime was. I just went ahead and got these toys because they were dope. But then I went ahead and watched the anime. I specifically remember in my college years loving the hell out of this anime. And I've been waiting, and I'm super excited that it's back on Netflix. I turned on the first episode, and I was like, what the hell?
Oh.
I was not feeling it at all. So for the time that it was, the animation was pretty dope. It still holds up. You can tell it's an older anime film, and so my good is the overall story, what it's about, with the giant robots and fighting the angels that are coming in, or that's what they've dubbed these alien monsters that are coming in. That stuff is really cool. The bad is too much to list. I'm probably going to get manslaughtered because I'm not feeling one of the, I guess, holy animes of all time or whatever. But I know animes are trippy and they all have their things. But this kid, our main star, this is my bad. He has not seen his dad in years. He's never been in one of these machines, and he's expected to fight it, and not only fight in it, but work it to a perfect T and beat a monster he's never seen before. He is thrown in this whole situation as a 13-year-old child inside of this mech. No one explains anything to him. He doesn't get training. He doesn't get a damn instruction booklet. He's just there, fight the monster, kill it, and you better do it good.
Hey, good job. 2 seconds to spare.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't sure where that rant was going.
That rant was going to continue.
Well, you breathed and I stopped you.
Awesome. Okay. There's so much more I can say about this. I mean, I rewatched it, but yeah, there's so much more. All right, Katie, you are up.
Yeah.
Setting the timer.
Yep, timer's ready.
Let me know if you're ready.
I'm ready. All right. So as Mike mentioned last week, he is a big baby, so he did not see Midsummer like I did, because
True.
I'm not a big baby.
I believe the words I said was a big bitch.
Yeah, I
'Cause I
didn't
don't
want to
get
call
scared.
you a bitch because
It's fine.
that seemed really mean. But anyway, so I did go see this movie, and like I had mentioned when we talked about the trailer, like the use of the light was really awesome and really off-putting because you never knew what time of day it was, if it was day, if it was night, like you had no idea. It would only be dark for like a couple hours. So that was really cool. They really set the tone with that. And I liked that it was a little bit different because, as I had mentioned in last week's episode, most horror movies are dark. So it was a kind of an interesting off-putting twist to that. But so for me, the good was they did a really awesome job of doing foreshadowing in this, where they give you these clues. Some of them were a little bit more overt than others, but like, then something would happen and you'd be like, oh, I kind of saw this. I saw this coming. All right. I get where we're going. So that was really cool. And they did a really good job of like explaining like the weird stuff through like pictures and art. And it was very, very awesome. The bad was, I don't want to give too much away, but like, obviously some bad things are happening, and this is something that happens every 9 years. And it's like, how have they been getting away with this for so long? I didn't get it. I didn't see how that was possible, but it's movie suspension of disbelief, I suppose.
Okay. How much time do you have left? Looks like you got a lot.
Like 10 seconds.
Okay. All right, maybe not so much. All right. So I got that tweet.
I just wasn't as animated as you.
I'm just saying. It's kind of like, so it's kind of like I'll remove that from the screen. Like Voltron. Like Voltron's my all-time favorite cartoon, and I loved it as a child, had the toys and everything. And then I tried to watch it with my kids as an adult, and I said, okay, we're not going to watch this anymore because it's going to ruin it for me. But the love and stuff that's there, I still enjoyed it, like at its core. But there's little quirky things, and that stuff has to do with where technology or production was at that time. This is it's just a bunch of story and character stuff. I'm just like, this is ridiculous. Like how are these kids supposed to function? And you know what? It might even be because now I'm a dad and I have kids, so I'm like, I would not put my kid through that.
My kid's not capable of doing that.
Like, well, kids are, if you train them. I mean, some kids can do some pretty fantastic stuff, as we've seen some videos on the Facebook and YouTube, but they've had training to do those things. Not just thrown in a 10-story robot and said, do kung fu on this alien that's trying to kill you. Yeah, that's where we're at.
I'm sorry that it made you mad.
Oh, but I still watched it though. I'm
Of
sitting there
course.
drawing, and I still watched it. I'm cussing and I'm all right. So we had a lot of fun with trailers last week, and we are going to take a peek and gander at some more trailers that actually just premiered today. So it was almost as if it was. What's the word I'm looking for, Katie? Meant to be.
Destiny.
Fate. Yeah, destiny. There we go. My wife's over here working in the studio tonight. She helps me out.
Oh, sweet.
She's working on a little. What are you working on? What project are you working on? She's doing mode casting.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but it sounds rad.
It is. All right. So, you want to go first on this one, Katie?
Sure. Let me get the timer ready for 3 minutes. Okay, so Jay and Silent Bob's newest movie is coming out. And I guess the good for me is that, like, literally everybody and their mom is in this movie. Like, there were so many cameos, I can't even tell you who's in this movie because it's, like, literally everyone.
There are a lot of cameos.
That was crazy. I was like, oh my God, that person and this person. And then I thought about it, and, like, they've all been in Kevin Smith's movies, so I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. For me, the bad, like, I hate to say this because I love Kevin Smith, but, like, do we need this movie? Like, is this a movie that we need? Like, is this necessary? I don't know.
All right. I think we are pretty much on the same page. My good is all the cameos. Jeez. There's been a lot of cool actors and actresses that have been in Kevin Smith's movies, and it's cool to see them all back again and just doing ridiculous stuff. But as I watched this trailer, the bad was I just didn't care. Like, nothing in it made me laugh. Nothing made me say, oh shoot, I've got to go see this movie again. And I love Kevin Smith. But again, so I agree with you. Do we need this movie? I don't think anybody was asking for it. I wasn't. But all those star cameos is probably what's going to make it sing to me. So, but I mean, I'm judging the book by its cover right now. All right. Yeah. So next. Oh my goodness. All right. I'll start this one off. I literally had to wait for my wife and kids to come back home before I watched this. Okay. I did. That's what took me so long on the setup, Katie. The setup was done. I literally waited for my wife and kids to come back home before I watched this trailer. I watched the first trailer, and it was the scariest damn trailer I've ever seen in my freaking life. All right. That old woman. Oh, God. No, never. All right. So this trailer, the good, it was not as scary as the first trailer. The bad, I really didn't have anything bad with the trailer. Probably my only bad thing is, why aren't the kids owning up to the oath that they took? I get it. I'm sitting over here safe in my home and in real world where this doesn't exist. And I'm talking to some people that are going through some shit saying, why aren't you holding up to your oaths? But I feel safe watching this movie to a degree because I've seen the first two before as I was younger, so I already know the layout of what it's going to be. But I do not watch scary movies, and they're really pushing it on this one. But the movie looks great. The trailer looks really good. The cast looks amazing. So I actually have to take that back. My good is the cast. It looks phenomenal. Really looking forward to seeing these actors do their thing on this movie and put it away finally. Damn it, kill it.
All right, so my good is actually you mentioned the casting. I think they just did an amazing job of the actor pairings and like finding actors who really look like they are grown-up versions of the kids. Like just phenomenal. Like I like they show the progression, and they show like the younger kid and then the adult, and you're just like, holy shit, that could be that person. So I thought that was an amazing casting job.
Mhm.
The bad, it's not coming out soon enough. I want to see it right now.
Yeah. Well,
I want it
September. That's
now.
actually pretty soon.
It's not soon enough.
I feel you. I feel you. All right. And then we have Cats premiere today. Maybe it didn't. I just saw it on my timeline today, so I'm gonna treat it as it premiered. You want to go first on this one, Katie?
Sure. So, I've actually never seen Cats. I've never seen the play. I think my parents went when I was little, and they told me I was too young. But I did ask my husband. I was like, "Is there like sex in this show? Like, what's going on? Like, why wasn't allowed to see it?" And he's like, "Not that I remember." And I'm like, "Oh, my parents were just making excuses for not letting me go see this play." So, from that perspective, I'm excited to see this because I've never seen Cats. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the good for me, I thought that the cats seemed very graceful. They looked really, they looked like cats. They're because cats are very graceful. The bad was they were freaking creepy. They were creepy as fuck. I don't like it at all, and I don't know if I can watch this.
Well, in the play, this is how they look in the play too. They're full grown cats.
Oh dear.
The good for me is that they were done to scale. I was wondering, like, so is this going to be a movie about the play of cats and people acting as the cats, or is this going to be a live action cats movie? It's a live action cats movie. Uh,
I would prefer
yeah.
literal cats.
No, you're fine. My wife just sat over and said, "Really? Yes, really." Uh, the good is that because I was wondering how they're gonna do it. I'm like, oh shoot, it's to scale. I wasn't happy about that. Like the buildings, the bed, and all that is to scale. So they are legitimately cats. The bad, them walking on all fours sucks. That looks stupid. Like everything else is all graceful and pretty, and all of a sudden, you grown ass women and men are walking around on their all on their paws and their heels. They didn't do it in the play. I've never seen the play either, so we're in the same boat, Katie. And my wife just said they did not do that in the play, but they're walking around like car pulls up in the alleyway and the lights and the cat's like "Meow," and gets scurries out the way. And so,
Oh man.
but and there's a lot of singing in this trailer. Well,
Good.
yeah. It looks like a lot more like they're singing, talking. All right. So there is that. That is the end of our trailers. No, you're fine. You're fine. All right. So real quick, I got to shout out John Paul. He tuned in and he said, "Yo, Mike, you got to do that rant about Evangelion again. I missed it. I'm sorry, buddy. You got to catch it on the replay. It'll be posted on YouTube too." Then he said, "Ava ain't for kids. It's not." And which one did I watch? I haven't watched the two movies yet. I've just watched the season, and now I'm about to jump into the movies. I'm hoping the movies are better. All right. We don't have any comments popping on our page yet, but that was off of my Facebook page. I've been sharing it out while we're talking here. Okay. So let's pull up our next banner. So what do we have next? All right, so this is a new segment that we're trying out here that I got excited about. It's called, and next week we'll go with the other name, and then we'll see which one we like better. But this week it is called Nerd-ageddon. All right. Nerdageddon being defined by there's these topics that get on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram stuff that just catch fire, and we have a couple of those joints popping up right here, and we're gonna just talk about them and see what we think about them or whatnot. Let me go back to my Brandon. There we go. And the first one up, and I know Katie's happy about this one. Thor 4 is in the building. So the rumors about Thor or Chris Hemsworth signing a contract and re-upping his movies for Marvel, it is true. They have signed back. I can't pronounce his name. I'm not going to try to do that. I will destroy it. He is going to direct the movie, the same director from Ragnarok, and Chris Hemsworth's coming back. So that means that what we're hoping is that he is definitely in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 as well. But everyone's really excited about this, but it comes at a loss because the same director was announced to direct Akira, which everyone was souped up for and excited for. And apparently, after reading the article that Katie found, the disappointment is that the movie is on hold and everybody wanted the release date. It was May 21st, 2021, which would have meant that the whole franchise of Akira would have come full circle. And that's the year that the Olympics is happening in Tokyo, yada, yada, yada. So everybody really wanted that date, apparently. I think Akira is still going to happen. And the good about this is I love what they did with Ragnarok. The bad, honestly, if I really had to pick a bad, is we have to wait for Akira because I think he'll do a great job on Akira as well. What do you say, Katie?
I'm totally stoked for this. I love Thor. As everybody should already know, I love Chris Hemsworth. So I'm super stoked. I was hoping this is what was going to happen, especially after Ragnarok, because it was just like so good and so fun. And I was like, how can you stop now? Like you're hitting your stride. Like this would be a disservice to everyone if we end it. So the good is that Thor 4 is happening, and I could not be happier. The bad, there's no bad. Thor 4 is happening. There's nothing bad about that.
Katie, you have to find something bad.
It's not happening soon enough. And
well,
okay, how about this? There could be a chance that we have Fat Thor, and I'm not looking forward to that.
Now, see, Katie, that is where you're wrong. I would love to have Fat Thor. I hope we have Fat Thor in Guardians of the Galaxy, and I guess by the time he gets to Thor 4, he loses his weight or whatnot. Chris Hemsworth loves Fat Thor, or I'm sorry, he's called Bro Thor. That's his name.
Oh, well, but like, okay, fine, if they do that, but I want to see like an 80s style workout montage of him getting back into shape at some point. If they can give me that, then I will deal with Fat Thor for a little longer.
Agreed. I'm all the way on the page with you. My wife and I were talking about it, and because the Captain America trilogy, Iron Man trilogy really got off to a great start. All three of those movies were strong. But Thor, while I enjoyed both the movies publicly, it kind of got off to a slow start, building the audience. So it really makes sense with, Tony Stark, spoiler alert, dying and Captain America getting old, that Thor would still be involved because his popularity really, really kicked in with Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, and Ragnarok. Like it really just jumped. Ragnarok made a ton of money. So it makes sense that they would continue this franchise. There's still more life in it. With Captain America and Iron Man, we've told their whole story. I think it also coincides with, Thor's a god. So it makes sense that he is still going. Like the Energizer Bunny. All right, our next nerd-a-geddon topic. All right. I think this is hilarious. All right. So the Game of Thrones showrunners are not going to San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm kind of slapping myself in the face for this, but I don't understand why this is a story. Like, this is a story. This is things that people are talking about online. And to me, it makes no sense. Of course, they're not going to San Diego Comic-Con for two reasons. And you know them. The show's over. There's nothing else to talk about. Number two, I don't want to hear you bitching about the show. We're not about to come there for that. I'm not flying to San Diego Comic-Con to hear a whole bitch session about how you didn't like season 8 and what you would have done better. They're the showrunners. They made the decision. That's what it is, and the show's done. I don't even know why this is even a thing, and I'm talking about it because I wanted to say my piece. So maybe that is why.
Well, and I think it makes sense that they bowed out of this because this then allows the actors who will be there the chance to do their thing and to talk and connect with the fans instead of them bombarding these two, and just complaining. Instead, they can, fangirl over Arya or Jamie or Davos or any of the other people that are going to be there. So I think it gives the focus back to the actors and off of people's feelings towards season 8.
Right. Agreed. And our final topic for Nerd-a-geddon. Okay.
Do you have your tickets already for Area 51 raid?
Are there tickets?
No.
Oh, okay, I was about to say. Huh? No, not nerd again. To the Area 51 raid. So I'm late to this party. Like I'm super late. I think this started popping off when Danny and I were in BlurredCon, and we were like, "What is all this Area 51 nonsense?" And apparently, a bunch of people were about to go raid Area 51 and say, "We're tired of the secrets. We want to know what it is. We are the American people, and we are tired of the lies." And what is, I don't know, like 100,000 people are going to this thing, and it's like going to be live streamed. And so I think a lot of people are going to die if they do this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, if what they should do is they should just like get a bunch of food trucks, a couple bands, and like some porta pots, and just like make this into some sort of money-making festival. Because I think people would
Yeah.
be down with that. Maybe have some people dressed up like aliens. I don't
Mhm.
know. Like, make it fun.
Yeah, I'm thinking let's turn this into a party, guys, because I don't know if it's an official statement. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't do a whole bunch of research on this. But then I saw an article post something from the U.S. government or whatever, or the rep for it said the U.S. military is ready and willing to defend Area 51 at all costs. That would, yeah. I'm not trying to get. I mean, I want to know if there's aliens. I really do, but I don't know if I want to know that bad. I mean, the tagline right now that they're saying is they can't get all of us.
Oh, I don't want to make that. Well, I'm going to make the comparison that I'm going to, but you know how, like, when a man and a woman are really in love and they decide they want to make a baby, and you know, the little spermies go in, and only one actually gets through.
Damn, that
It
is a
only
true
takes
story.
one.
That is a true story. But they've had some real funny memes. But the ones I'm really curious about, because I didn't see them being launched from actual actors' accounts, was all the actor ones were hilarious. I just think some person sitting at home putting these text on these pictures for the actors. I mean, they're great. Like, oh shoot, Barney from How I Met Your Mother. He's talking about, yo, I got telepathic abilities because he was in Starship Troopers, so I'm in bitches. Like they got a lot of cool ones, but I'm like, none of the stars are actually doing this, I don't think.
No.
But that's what's tearing up the streets in Nerdageddon. All right, so we're moving on to our main topic. And our main topic normally consists of something that is recently going on right now, or something that Katie and I love and we want to dig into it, which the Harry Potter episode is coming. All right. That's going to be a very serious episode.
A very special
Yeah,
episode.
that may be a 2 or 3 piece episode. We're going to be taking a deep dive into Harry Potter or whatnot. But Katie and I dove into Stranger Things, season 3, and we have seen all the seasons. It's a newfound tradition at our house. We watch, my wife and my kids. We watch season 1, 2, and 3 of Stranger Things whenever they come out. That did not come out right, but as soon as the season comes out, we binge watch it. All
Got
right,
it.
we're all about Stranger Things. It is an awesome show. But we're going to deep dive into this one. It is our main topic, and then when we get to our infamous the good, the bad, and the nerdy. What is the good and bad and nerdy about this? We will be picking and selecting which ones for that. And we are going to get started with season 1. Where's my promo art? Bam!
Nice.
Now, before we even get into this, Stranger Things has some of the dopest promotional illustration out. Oh my God, their stuff is fantastic. And it just chimes with the 80s and, with our childhood. And I think they knocked that out of the park. So, Katie, go ahead and start us off.
Yeah, so I gotta tell you, season 1 was just like mind blowing. It was unlike anything we'd ever seen. The nostalgia was like off the chain. Like this was just like they knocked it out of the park. This first season was just like ridiculous, like just so good. So I think, I mean, there's so many good things. There's just I can't even. But I think my favorite thing, so the good for me, is the friendship of the boys. Like, I just loved how close they were. And then when Will goes missing, the other ones are like, we have to go find him. Screw these adults. They don't know what they're doing. We can find him. And they just like have this such a strong bond, and they love each other so much. And like, it's just really awesome friendship movie. Or show, I mean, not movie.
Well, I think it constitutes as a movie. They film all this stuff together. They're just giving it. They're just breaking it up in 8 parts for us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to absolutely agree with you. My favorite part is the friendship and bond between these kids, how down they are for each other, everything that they do together with one another. I absolutely enjoy that so much. That was the thing that I connected with the most. I just thought it was great. Like, it seemed natural, it seemed genuine, and it seemed real. And that's hard to pull off.
Yeah, I agree. And a kind of like an honorable mention is usually in like this kind of show or movie where there's like a bond between, the younger kids. Their older siblings or the older kids around are usually like assholes and like trying to like, like put them down or whatever. And like
Mhm.
in this one, it was like the older kids were also trying to find Will and trying to solve the problem, and they were involved too. So I thought that was kind of a cool twist.
Right. Awesome. So the bad for me, and I really, really have been trying to think about this. Now, if you guys have been tuning into the show, Katie preps for a show. She's ready to go. I just throw it in there, and I go off the top. That's part of our
He likes to be surprised about what comes out of his mouth.
pretty much. But I really, really did love Stranger Things. I couldn't find too much wrong with it. But the one thing I had is not a production issue or anything like that. Is actually a character. I just didn't like the decision she made. And you also know I'm terrible with names. But Mike's older sister, how she played old girl Beth. Is Beth? Is that her name?
Nancy.
Nancy. Where the hell did I get Beth from? All right. So the way she played her friend and left her there all by herself because she was upset or whatnot.
Justice for Barb.
Yeah, Barb. There we go. I thought she was an a-hole. Like, she was an a-hole until like the facts got presented. And then when the facts got presented, she was on board. But I didn't like her, and I wasn't supposed to like her. So she was my bad. I was like, that girl was your friend. She was down for you. You could learn a lot from your fucking brother. You just left her there because you got played. Supposed to stay together. Like, when I take my kids to summer camp with me, and they have to go check in, and I'm like, y'all need to stay together, all three of y'all. If you wait for your sisters to get out the car and you go up to the front together, you don't leave anybody behind. That's just something me and my brothers tell all our kids. No one gets left behind. So that's mine.
All right. For me, the bad was in the very first episode when Elle meets the guy who owns the diner, and the guy's like giving her food and he's taking care of her, and they have this like really cute bond, and you're like, all right, I see where this is going. She's just gonna like, be living with this dude, and I don't know, like that's where the story's gonna go. And then they kill him off immediately. And I was like, no, you made me love him and then you take him away.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's awful. I hated it. I was like, now I don't even know what this show is about.
They're good for doing that. They are real good for doing that. All right. Here we go. We are on season 2. You want to start us off, Katie?
Sure. So season 2 wasn't as strong as season 1, and I think it's just because season 1 was just so new and fresh, and season 2 was more of the same, which wasn't bad. It just wasn't that whole like wow factor, like, oh my god, this is something new and fresh. It's like, oh, okay, I know where we are, this is comfortable. The good for me was the evolution of asshole Steve to dad Steve. I love that character arc where, I mean, in season 1, he was just a jerk and I hated him. And then season 2, all of a sudden, he's like taking care of the kids, and he and Dustin have this like amazing, adorable relationship. And I really loved that change in him. It was unexpected and awesome.
Okay, well we are 2 for 2 because he was my favorite part of the show as well. I like the role that he took on. I love his character arc in season one, but I really love who he is to the kids in this one. And he's all about it. Like when he comes and they give him the bat and they're like, "All right, we got to go find these demi dogs or whatever," uh, and like he instantly clicks. He's like, "Let's go," and he jumps back in and like I love his and God, I'm terrible with the damn names, but I love his conversations with Toothless. Let's call him that.
Dustin.
Dustin. I think he gives Dustin. While it's straightforward and blunt, I think he gives Dustin really good advice, and his advice comes from a very genuine spot in his heart. Like he really has a spot. He really cares about Dustin. I really enjoyed their conversations and how they got along and stuff. Actually, they were like he was my favorite part, and Dustin was like the second part, like their adventures and what they got into.
Dustin is like 100% my favorite character. I love Dustin. He is my favorite.
All right.
Well, so for the bad,
Okay.
so I think it's like episode 5. Elle runs away and she meets up with some other kids who were in the institute with her, so they also have powers. And then I got really excited because I was like, cool, like we're going to see other kids that have powers. We're going to find out what they've been up to, like what they went through. I can see where this is going. This is going to be awesome. We're going to this is like really cool. This world is growing and building. And then Elle gets back to her friends, and that was the end of that.
Right. Go ahead.
And they don't even, and not to jump to season 3, but like there's nothing about it in season 3. So I don't know if they're holding on for because I believe next season is supposed to be the last one. So I don't know if that's when the whole that's what they're building up to, but it just was like this really cool story arc, really cool place they were going, and then all of a sudden it was gone.
Well, we're skimming on the same streets, but I got a different reason. I didn't care for that. Like when it first started, I was like, oh, okay, this is dope. We are getting we're getting some new stuff, new content, new characters. We are going to learn about this. But then they kept going with it, and I was like, all right, I'm tired of this. Can we get back to the dudes? Let's get Elle home. All right, these kids suck. I'm done with them. Let's get Elle home. Like I was like, number one, like don't talk to Elle like that. All right, I don't know who you think you are, but you don't speak to Elle like that. All right. Yeah, I just got tired of it. I just got bored with it quickly, and I wanted Elle to hurry up and get back with the team she was supposed to be with. So that was my bad for season 2.
Okay.
All right, and now we're coming up on season 3. So season 3, I've actually season 3 was a lot. They had a lot going on in season 3. My bad with season 3 is it not Mike? Is it Lucas's? Lucas? Terrible with names. His sister.
Erica?
Erica, she was the fucking worst. That child was getting on my nerves. All right, so they have this whole thing where you got kids cussing and stuff in shows. All right, it's cute the first or second time or whatnot, but that girl's lip and her attitude and the way she was talking to people, I would have snatched her little ass up and I would have took her home to her mom. Like, what are you teaching this child? Number one, and she's disrespectful as hell to her brother. You're gonna believe about demogorgons, demons, telekinesis, but you ain't believe your brother was down for his friends the whole time. And that whole like attitude in her voice, the way she carried herself, the way she talked, calling everybody nerd. You a nerd.
Oh man, that was amazing. Well, I think what you said about like her buying into like all the things that happened to them, but then like not buying into like Lucas being involved. Like Dustin totally called her out on that, and Dustin also called her out on being a nerd. And it was amazing. So for me, the bad, and you kind of mentioned this with You're Bad for season 1, I have always found Nancy to be extremely annoying. And she just like grated on me so hard this season. I just was like, I don't know if I can. I kind of want to punch you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. I appreciate this. Because I'm gonna do an honorable mention for my bad. So my
Okay.
thing was listening to Lucas's girlfriend talk and listening to Nancy talk. I literally had to stop and ask myself, am I looking at this and thinking about this from a male's perspective? Because it was getting on my damn nerves. I didn't get it, and I had to sit down and really just look like, all right. Don't think about this as if you're a guy. Like, look at this from her perspective. And I got where Nancy was coming from. But the thing that was irritating about it, you're trying to prove your case to a bunch of men who are being complete dicks to you. A photo is not going to work. You are not capturing this bizarro rat jumping off the cage like a Street Fighter Turbo edition in a picture. Bring the rat, pick up the cage, take it there and say, this is what this old lady had in her house. Is that how rats are supposed to act? No, it's not. That's your evidence. And she just kept going in head first without thinking about anything. And it was annoying. All right, I'm going to stop because, we're supposed to just do one good thing, one bad thing. I'm going too far.
Okay. For me, the good is I didn't love that everyone was split up. I didn't love that. But I did love the Steve, Robin, Dustin, and Erica grouping. I thought they had really good chemistry. They were awesome together. They were really funny. I love how like Erica's kind of used to getting her way and talking sassy and being disrespectful. And every step of the way, Dustin was like, no, boom, no, boom, you're a nerd. I loved how smart Robin was. I thought her character was awesome. She was just a credible addition. And Steve was doing his dad Steve thing, so I appreciated that.
Okay, so we are on the same street again. I enjoyed that crew way more than the other crew. I was really getting frustrated with the things that were happening with them. I guess that's that whole teen angst thing. I didn't do any of that stuff. I was still playing with toys all the way. I'm still playing with toys. So I'm with my man Will. Dude, I've been possessed. I've been to the upside down. I've been chased by demons or whatever the heck they are from another dimension. I just want to play a game of Dungeons and Dragons. Can we just do that? Can I just have one regular week? Can you help your boy out? Can you help your boy out?
Yeah, I felt bad. I was like, all he wants to do is play D&D with his boys, and all his boys want to do is hang out or talk to their girlfriends.
Right. I was feeling for him this season, man. But yeah, so that was my good. I enjoyed that section of the team with Dustin and them, their adventure and what they were doing. I enjoyed that way more than the other crew. They were just getting on my nerves over there. I was like, come on, man, y'all need to get it together. All for one for all, man. I was like, where did all the loyalty go from the first 2 seasons?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, that just disappeared.
Well, I think that was part of it. They wanted to show that they're growing up and things are changing and how they're dealing with it. But it's hard because this show is not necessarily about that. It's mostly about like the upside down and the dangerous creatures and stuff. So actually making it like kind of real life was like, wait, what are we doing?
All right, hold on. What'd you say, Carmen? Oh, okay. So we have an honorable mention for my wife. Her good was singing the never ending story.
Oh, that was cute. But the whole time I was like, hurry up, they're in danger. Give them the code.
And that's one of the reasons one of the reasons why I didn't make it to my ultimate good, because I needed Dustin to tell her, look, I'm gonna call you back in 10 minutes, but this is really end of the world type shit right now. Okay. I don't have time to sing the song to you, but I get it. It was easier to just do that so he can get what he needed or whatnot.
And I was so happy that Susie actually existed.
Oh,
there was like
too.
that doubt like the whole time. You're like, oh, your girlfriend in another state, sure.
I'm glad they did not go down that path, so I was very happy with that. All right, so that brings us to our infamous what is the good, the bad, and the nerdy out of the 3 things that we just discussed between season 1, 2, and 3 of Stranger Things. So I'm going to go first on this one.
Okay.
Okay. Whew, the good, the bad, and the nerdy. All right, so I'm gonna put season 1 as the good, season 3 as the bad, and season 2 as the nerdy for me. Season 1, just obviously, to me. It's the strongest season, and it had the most lore, it had the most love for me, and it kept me on the edge of my seat the entire time. Like I was just there. I was there. Really, really, really loved that season. The bad, season 3. I was annoyed with it half the time. I was not that I was pulled out of it, but I was really annoyed with some of the character choices and decisions or whatnot. And not because of my expectations. I based off of the previous 2 seasons. I didn't think their choices or where their heads were the same as what we have been told or whatnot. And that little girl got on my damn nerves. Ugh. The nerdy season 2. There was so much nostalgia in season 2 with the Ghostbusters and everything that they had going on there. They put Samwise Gamgee in there, and he was dope. I love Samwise Gamgee. I thought the season was
Rest in
super fun, but
peace.
there was a lot of nerdy things going on with season 2. So that's my pick. So it's on to you, Katie.
All right, so we agree on season 1. For all the reasons that you say, and also, just because this was unlike anything we'd ever seen. All this nostalgia, something new, exciting, fresh. It was just incredible. And I kind of liked it that they ended it where it was kind of open ended, but it could have been wrapped up too,
Mm-hmm.
just in case they weren't going to continue on. So the story was kind of told. It was open at the end, but it wasn't cliffhanger.
Right.
For me, the bad was season 2. I feel like they had a chance to develop the story more with all the other kids or going into expanding the world outside of their little town. So I feel like they dropped the ball on that. So that was the bad for me. And the nerdy season 3, kind of, I know that the big insult was oh, you guys are nerds, but basically they showed how everyone was a nerd in their own way. So
Mm-hmm.
being a nerd is not a bad thing. Being a nerd gets shit done. So I think that made it nerdy for me.
Okay. All right. So there you go. The good, the bad, and the nerdy. Those are our picks. First one we matched up on, but the last 2 we did not. And that's the fun of this. That's where we mix things up. Sometimes when we are on the Cosmic Geppetto podcast, Katie and I pretty much agree on everything. But now that we've done our own show, we see we have some differences.
It's good because I was afraid that when we had this show, it was going to be boring because we are just going to be agreeing on everything the whole time.
Right. And it's not. And so it's cool, but we did kind of agree on a lot of stuff with Stranger Things with what we were saying on both of them on this episode or whatnot. But thank you for tuning in. And Katie, where can everybody find you?
You can catch me on Twitter at honeybadgerkt, or you can check us out on our Facebook page, which is Groups GB Nerdy. It's popping over there. You can watch our live stream. We do polls, post random nerdy stuff that's happening, get your thoughts on stuff. It's pretty fun. Yeah.
All right. You can catch me on Short Fuse Media as I'm the publisher there. So look for us at shortfusemediagroup.com where you can purchase any of our books and comic books there and some great swag. You'll also catch me with Freestyle Comics on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also as Art of Mike Watson on the same media. The good, the bad, and nerdy. Hit us at TTHE Nerdy on Twitter, and our Facebook group page be popping. You guys should definitely join that. This weekend, I will be at the Ohio Toy and Comic Show, selling comics, selling prints, having good times. I have a panel there this weekend I'm very excited about. Hoping to get there early enough to maybe MC the hype line down there. I got some exclusive cards coming out. Next weekend, I will be at Wizard World Pittsburgh, and I am super excited because not only am I emceeing the hype line every day in the morning, I am also hosting the drink and draw Friday night. I've got 3 creative stage appearances, 3 panel appearances, and as always, the good times will be great there. So that's where I'm going to be at. That's what I'm into. And Katie, what do you have to say?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and bye.
I love it every time. All right. Catch you guys next week.